Today, I turned 30 years old. I never used to be afraid of my age, but I feel like 30 is such a specific year that a lot of emotions boiled up inside of me, and it really got me thinking. Everyone puts a lot of pressure on 30, and we have this narrative in our head that's like the transition from 20s to 30s is the transition from youth to adulthood, or some temporal cutoff line where we're supposed to have all of our shit figured out and met all of our life goals because no one wants to be a late bloomer. When I was younger, I imagined getting here feeling so different, like, oh, I am a grown-up. I have all of my shit together. And while I have a lot of my shit together, I'm still like, wait, I'm a kid. I do think a perk of growing up is that we begin to feel more comfortable in our own skin and we just get better at living. The point is, I've probably lived a third of my life, which is crazy. And I'm like, what do I want those next 2/3 to look like? Honestly, I just want to fall in love with my life again. It's like when you're younger, everything is new all the time. And I think what I want for the rest of my life is to find the newness in every day. And this is a part of that. Really what I'm trying to do here is to experiment with storytelling. I've had a YouTube channel for 10 years, but this is the first time I'm literally sitting in front of a camera, using a tripod. There are so many things I don't know about lighting and cinematography and editing and color grading. Girl, I watched one video on color grading yesterday and I was like, I need to open a bottle of wine stat. Now that I'm 30 years old, I feel like there's no point in waiting to do anything because none of us are here forever and we also don't even know how long we're going to be here for. I've always wanted to be a creator and I, in many ways, have built a creative life for myself. But something I've always been passionate about and gave up on when I was younger is this. Creating little films, telling stories with visuals. I used to think at some point I will be interesting enough to make little films about myself. Or at some point I will be creative enough to have a YouTube channel. And now I'm like, what if we are interesting enough right now? And what if we always have been? Because there are so many parts of my life that I wish I had documented, like moving to New York, getting to know my grandmother, living in the forest for 3 months, living in Japan for 3 months, volunteering at a refugee center in Myanmar. There are so many adventures I have been on that I never had the courage to share. Our lives are always happening, and I feel like a lot of us wait for the permission to fall in love with those lives and to feel like they're romantic and full of hope and wonder and awe until we reach a certain point or until we become a certain someone. But it's like, actually, our lives are always full of awe and romance. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to learn how to fall in love with our lives again. We are going to learn how to fall in love with our lives again. We're going to learn how to fall in love with our lives again. Wow, this is hard. This is a lot harder than I thought. No one talks about how much effort it takes to make a video and to stop in the middle of the street and record different angles and different takes. I'm like, Should I just give up right now? I am 30 after all, which is supposed to be kind of the end of my life. Just kidding. We're in Chapultapec, which is my favorite park, and I come here a lot to clear my mind and to call my friends and to just be in the trees. So I wanted to come here on my birthday and just think about what being 30 means. I feel like when I was younger, I took pride in my youth and being like 21, 20, 22. I would even like put it in my Instagram profile. But now that I am growing up and have gone through so many processes of transformation and moves and changes, I feel like the most beautiful part of life is growing up. I've been thinking a lot about how the youngest versions of ourselves are the least updated and the least grown and the least renewed. And so it's actually the oldest versions of ourselves, like right now, however old you are, that is the newest. And there's not even really such a thing as old. I feel like when we're younger, we picture ourselves as 30 or 40 or 50, and we think at that point we're going to be such different people and it'll be too late to do certain things and we will have done everything that we've wanted to in our entire lives. But it's like you reach that point and you realize that you're actually just a person, constantly changing just like before. The only constant real thing in our lives is change. For as long as I'm alive, I want to constantly be changing. I want to transform and I want to grow and I want to do things that scare me. I feel like that's a beautiful part of growing up is you're less afraid of the world because we keep growing. And it's like not just the decades that are so big, it's every single day that we wake up. We are new people. And I think that's what I want to embody in my 30s is like waking up as a new person in a new day, being like, oh my god, this is my life that I am living and I only get one chance to live it. So let's be here. Let's enjoy our lives. I just realized that I met my mom when she was 40 because she was 40 years old when she had me. And now she's 70, which means I've literally known her for 30 years because I've been alive for 30 years, which is obvious. But I just feel like it made me think about how much I've seen her grow and how many amazing experiences she's had in those 30 years of her life. And that was literally from 40 to 70 for her. Thinking about that just makes me so excited to live in my 40 to 70 and also to live in my 30 to 40. Like, there's so much life to live and I'm really excited to live it. Do you remember turning 30?
It was a while ago.
What were you excited about?
Pues growing, like I'm always thinking about growing in every aspect. And when I look back, like I have always improved. So I'm happy.
Okay, now we're going to go to my favorite restaurant for lunch. Honestly, it's hot as balls, and I'm really tired. But we're gonna finish this fucking vlog. We just got to my favorite restaurant, which is Oriental Gourmet Cafe. It's so packed. We'll record a bit inside, but I don't want to do a whole cinematic entrance because there are so many people sitting outside. But we made it! And this is the end of the vlog. I feel like I've lived a million years. But I'm glad that I tried something new on my 30th birthday. I really do feel like finishing this video, working on this video, I've fallen in love with the craft again, and that really is like, I really do feel like I've fallen in love with my life again. And if there's anything I want to end this video with, it's the idea that documenting your life is so intoxicating, but I feel like the message we should all be downloading from the art of documenting our lives is that the goal is to be in your life as much as possible before anything becomes a photo, or before anything becomes a video, before anything becomes a memory, because this is the best version. Like, this moment, living in the present, is the most detailed, textured, whole version of your life that you will live. And the memories and the content and the videos and the photos, those are all just second grade in comparison, because nothing can capture fully what you're living. The point is, we have a decision to be in love with our lives or to not. It makes the most sense to choose to love it.